All right, this is Caleb Ash, Chase Combs, and special guest Paul
Starts with
Ash.
the P. Oh.
Starts with a P.
Ends with a...
Maybe it's me, maybe it's me.
You'll find out next time.
Paul Ash, a.k.a. Paul Nasty.
A.K.A. Nasty.
Now, what we're going to talk about is...
First,
we're going to start out with some video games. And then go into television. Maybe.
If I feel like going there.
Yeah.
I am the guest.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's ask you, Paul, where do you want to go?
Where do you want to start?
Video games and then television.
Well, that's not how we're going to run
Really?
this show.
Because I swear I just said that.
I didn't hear it.
Okay.
Well, now we're going to do the opposite because that's what you want.
Okay.
Well, that's bullshit.
All right, go ahead, Paul.
Well, what are your questions?
Anyway, so this, past day or so, Middle-earth Shadow of War got its review embargo lifted. Now we got a whole bunch of people talking about the game and how it is, and some people played like 30 or 40 hours, it seems.
What does lifted mean?
It means that
late or stolen?
No. So companies will put a review embargo in place to keep people, like reviewers or big game sites that'll release reviews, from playing the game early or from releasing a review too soon.
So, they didn't hurt their sales?
Yeah. So, this site I have up right now, Polygon, Kotaku, PC Gamer, Eurogamer, all those guys probably had the copy of the game, like a week probably. And so now that they've released their reviews, because their embargo is gone. So most of the score is about average an 8, 7.5. So it's not bad. It's doing pretty well. A lot of people I've seen are saying, there's too much content, it seems like.
That's not a bad thing.
That's weird.
I know. That's what a lot of people are saying in the comments.
Dude, because a lot of, Call of Duty and, all those Medal of Honor games and a lot of games you, play and then,
that's it.
a few hours in, it's over.
You've seen everything.
And then it's let's play online for the rest of the year. I mean, it's
yeah, exactly.
That's bull.
So I don't really understand that part of it. They did mention some things the menus are a little bloated from the last game. Mostly because with skills, it's not just an individual skill that you purchase anymore. It's you get a skill and then you have 3 augments of that skill. Mm-hmm. So I mean I can understand that. Now a major controversial thing with Shadow of War was that the publisher wanted microtransactions into the game, and a lot of people were completely against that. Fair enough, makes sense. Yeah. That's a pretty scummy practice. Thankfully, though, it doesn't seem like it's had any effect on the game at all. Eurogamer did a video on it where they said it felt tacked on, mm-hmm. and that it wasn't really completed too much. They have this orc character that's supposed to be the merchant or something, mm-hmm. and he doesn't really talk or anything. It's just the screen, he appears, and then you buy a chest or whatever, and he's like, yeah, whatever. And that's about
deep.
it. There's not much there. Yeah. So it doesn't seem like it's very viable to go for microtransactions in that game.
I don't like microtransactions because it's like with GTA, it's
oh yeah,
they just make money. They just make DLCs to get money like that, and it's just kind of
you're rich enough.
Yeah, well, they half-ass the DLCs, and they make it sound like it's going to be awesome. Gun running was fucking terrible.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I haven't played any of the updates.
Because it's I mean, if you do everything you need to do, and you buy all the supplies or whatever, you steal all the supplies, you get $1 million mm-hmm. with the gun running. But it takes, I played 12 hours just nonstop to get that $1 million, and it was just I really just played 12 hours. And if you think about it, if you play the biker DLC, mm-hmm. you can get $1 million in a couple times over within that amount of time. So the amount of time it takes, it's not worth it.
That's why they have microtransactions.
Yeah,
they
so
try
you
to
just buy it.
Mm-hmm, they try to make the grind they're trying to tell you the game's really not worth playing.
Yeah, it's a fucking job.
It really is.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people were thinking with Shadow of War, that's the reason why they were adding it in. But no, apparently there's plenty of content to play through. So you just start out conquering like 5 different fortresses in each different area. You got a forest area, cold, like icy area.
Different habitats.
Yeah, a lot of different biomes and stuff. And after the main story is done, you can... there's an in-game mode called Shadow Wars where you're defending all your fortresses and stuff. And then after that's done, I think basically go online or start a new game or whatever. But some people have been saying that that's easily lasted about 40 or 50 hours.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, that's a lot of content to go through.
Dude, I forgot the name of the game that I bought, and I made my character look like Jax and called him Jax Black. What is that game?
The covert kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's the...
Or after the drug lords.
Yeah, what is that game?
Ghost?
Yeah, Ghost Recon.
Yeah.
I had never played that before. Full disclosure, I love Sons of Anarchy. And, like, I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I've seen it like 9 times, and we'll talk about that later. But,
yeah, later.
So, anyway, like, so me and my brother have this thing where, like, we have this mutual friend that tells me I'm obsessed, and I totally am. And,
By the way, I'm Paul Ash's brother.
Yeah.
I'm the person he's talking about right now.
So, anyway, my friend's name is Brian, and I'll tell Brian about something. He'll be like, "You're obsessed." So I was like, "Okay." And I have a Navy SEAL friend. His last name is Black, and so I was like, "I'm gonna make my guy look like Jax, and he's kind of badass like my friend, so I'm gonna call him Jax Black." It's my character. So anyway, which, by the way, that game has a lot of game time. Like, I still haven't beat it. But yeah, so Caleb over here, like, helped me create the character. and then like made it look exactly like Jax Teller on Sons of Anarchy. And then when we finally got it, he goes, "I'm telling Brian." Like, I was like, "You rat bastard, you did this with me." And he said, "No, it's not the story. I'm going to tell him." I was like, "You son of a bitch."
So did you?
No, I told him first. He took the piss out of it.
I mean, that works too.
Yeah. So
you kind of played right into it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, if I was gonna get talked about, I might as well talk about myself, right?
I guess, but I don't know.
So anyway, but that game is it had a lot of content, and I'm actually, like, I still haven't beat it just because like you can kind of go a short route, like where you like focus on certain things, but you don't get all the weapons and stuff. So yeah, I want to go the long route and beat everything and beat all the bosses.
Yeah. It seemed really big from what I saw.
Yeah,
it's a Ubisoft game, so they make all their world sandbox.
Yeah.
But I think it was a little too much for me.
Yeah.
Or at least I'm not like into the license that they got.
Yeah, I mean, my whole thing is like whenever I want to play like video games, I want to be like all badass. Like, my whole thing is kill motherfuckers. That's my thing. And so I didn't want to go the short route and like not kill enough motherfuckers.
Well, listen, Paul. I got the game for you.
Oh, do you?
Shadow of War.
Oh, we're back on that.
Okay, but
you kill motherfuckers.
You get
every step you take.
You chop off their heads.
Amen.
Chop off their arms. Cleave them in half. I mean, and these guys can come back. Like, if you cut a dude in half, there's a possibility he will cheat death and come back to get you. I think it was one. It's called the Nemesis system.
Can't kill nobody these days.
Well, no. But, like, he came back and he was called the Machine or something.
The Machine.
And he was a cyborg type orc thing.
I forgot that comedian's name, but he's funny.
Plus, like, the main tag of this is, like, nothing will be forgotten. So whatever choice you make or whatever you do,
it affects
everything.
That includes, like, the orcs that follow you. If you don't promote them, or if they get stronger than you, they'll come back and ambush
kill motherfuckers.
They'll kill you.
Yeah,
they'll betray you.
Or in the middle of a fortress siege too.
You betrayed me.
While you're trying to take down a fortress or something.
So like in the middle of it, they'll just...
In the middle of a giant battle.
Like, you'll think they're on your team, and then you start... Damn!
One thing I saw is, like...
Did they tell you why?
Yeah.
There's relationships through the whole thing.
So, like, the big one that I saw was you okay, so you have this guy that's branded on your team. Cool. He has a blood brother on the other side that you kill. He will turn against you during the middle of like a giant battle and attack you. So now you've got like more captains to deal with and all this stuff. It just seems. I can't wait. I can't wait to get my hands on it.
All about it, eh?
Yeah, that's why you need to get it, Paul.
Dude, the first time that I really had a bonding experience with Chance here.
Okay,
Chance is my nickname for him. So no one else calls him that. And apparently he doesn't like it on the air, but he responds to it in our daily lives.
That's my stage name.
Yeah.
What? Okay, go ahead, Paul. What?
Don't hide who you really are.
What?
Chance.
Okay, no, what? What are you gonna say?
Anyway, so Watchdogs, the first one. We played that one for a while.
Oh God,
that was terrible. Like I was like trying to blow motherfuckers up, and like they had these big ass suits, and there was one like part of it, especially where like, you had to have these like I guess level up to where you can like blow up the sewers and yeah. Well, I didn't have that. I didn't purchase that on time, I guess, and so like this guy had a machine gun, and you had to like blow him up and stuff, but I didn't have any explosives, and I didn't have that power up, so. I jumped in a car and just kept running his ass over. And it was like...
Was it one of those, like, enforcer guys?
Yeah, it was, like, one of the big ones.
I can't stand them.
Yeah.
I got that ability that, like, lets you instant kill them or something.
Yeah.
And it was that part where you go up into the boss's tower or something, the gang leader's tower, and you got to fight a wave of guys.
Yeah, it was...
And I just couldn't kill him.
Yeah.
I couldn't kill him, like, at all.
Well, like, I'm talking about, like... So, it was, like, one of the first enforcers you see, and, like, they drive into, like, a Suburban... over like the sewers, and then you're supposed to be able just to take them out like that and blow up the sewers. Well, I didn't have the thing where you blow up the sewers. I jumped in the car and kept running his ass over. All I could do, man. And so I eventually ended up quitting because I couldn't kill him. And then like the next time I got back on, I miraculously had explosives or something where I could take him out. But I must have ran his ass over like 8 times.
The game was fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. But the end, I kept getting a bug where the credits would keep playing, and it would never end. So I never got an achievement for the ending.
Really?
So I had to keep playing that final mission over and over again, until finally it just somehow worked.
I hate it. Like I started number 2, or like the Watchdogs 2, and I gave up within like 10 minutes.
Whoa!
I hated it.
Why?
You couldn't do the first.
I couldn't beat it. I couldn't beat the first level.
How can you not beat the first mission?
Because I walked in there.
You got confused.
Yeah, I was like...
Oh, you mean when he's like tapping all the servers and stuff?
Yeah, like you have to jump like from camera to camera and find like the one guard. And I was like, I can't find this son of a bitch, I'm done.
Oh yeah. Dude, that was intense for me.
Yeah, I was like, I hate this.
I got to the server that you needed to get, and then all the guards were everywhere, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to run.
I
just
quit,
ran
dude.
in front of all
I quit. I was like, I don't have time for this, man. I spent like good... Christmas gift cards on that shit, and I played for 15 minutes.
You should try again.
Maybe.
I mean, it's been a lot of fun.
It was decent. I still couldn't there's some really slow parts.
Yeah.
So I kind of lost interest over time.
One thing about that game,
during it was really fun.
I thought it was going to be like Grand Theft Auto, and it's not at all.
No.
So maybe they got more intricate as far as like all the hacking stuff you could do in the second one, but. Yeah, I was so pissed off at like within like 10 minutes of it. And then I played for another 5 minutes and I was like, fuck this shit. So
well, that one's going on the shelf.
Yeah. And so another one that I was really excited to play and I was like really loving it until about halfway through and I just didn't give a shit anymore was what's the medieval one?
For Honor?
Yeah. I was like, I hate this shit too. So
what? Why?
Come to think of it, I have a lot of games I hadn't finished.
All your games you haven't finished.
Except Grand Theft Auto. And nobody talking shit.
For Honor, I like the I played during the beta of it, and I love the combat idea. It was like a 3D Street Fighter with all of its combos and stuff. Except for... And then it released... And then it was just like, okay, I'm not spending $60 on this.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's the same thing over and over and over.
Yeah.
Like, it nothing ever changes.
And I heard it was really pay to win, too.
What does that mean?
Like, they have microtransactions in the game.
Yeah.
And you can buy, like, chests or gear or stuff.
I never played, like, the multiplayer. I didn't...
That was the main issue.
Yeah, it was kind of like it's just the same thing over and over and over, and it's kind of repetitive. Then there's that game. The World War One game.
What? World War One?
Yeah, it's
Battlefield.
Battlefield, yeah, Battlefield 1.
Dude. Oh, I love that game.
Dude, I played the beta and I was fucking badass. And then I was. Do you remember that, Caleb? Like
yeah.
I played it. I finally got it, and I was like, oh yeah, because I was playing and I could like snipe people from fucking far away across the map, and I was like, I'm awesome. And then I actually got the game when it came out, and it had been a while since the beta. I fucking sucked. I never got it back. So, no, well,
it's really satisfying.
Well, it's like once everyone plays the beta and then they get the game, they know all the tricks and spots and
yeah.
Well,
at least for those 2 levels.
There's a lot of people that know life those games, like Battlefield and COD, and just get really good at it. Yeah. So it's really hard to play.
Yeah.
Against any of them.
I will say this, like, World War One. I know no one had ever done it before, that I know of. But I think like the weapons were really hard to use. So like I think a lot of like World War II games, that's when like guns were advanced enough where they're actually like really decent and fun to play with. But anything before that is really hard. Like it'd be like
to implement into a game.
Yeah, like playing like with muskets would not be fun.
No,
you know what I mean?
Well, it depends on how they do it.
Well, if it's like the Assassin's Creed, like that was okay, but it still takes for freaking ever to load a musket.
That's why you don't usually use them, though. Oh, or do you mean Unity? Because they had rifles in Unity.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yeah, so you
I'm thinking the one that's
or 4?
The American Revolution.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like
that one was okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
I killed some motherfucking redcoats.
I love the protagonist's appearance and his moveset throughout that entire game.
I like how you could hang people in trees.
His personality could use a little tweaking, but
yeah.
What?
Murder motherfucker.
I wish they would bring that.
I was about to say hang people, but I was like, oh,
yeah, no.
I'm not excited about this next one.
I haven't.
Assassin's Creed.
I need to really start researching about it.
It's an open world and it's more like a RPG.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
Well, yeah, but it just kind of takes away from it, I think.
Well,
you know me. I liked recruiting and like Brotherhood, and from there on, I loved that part of it.
Well, Unity was like an RPG because you had to equip different pieces of gear and stuff.
Yeah, but they had they had Unity with it. Like you jump in with another player and be like, hey.
Well, but you can't say that that's different from this if it's just single player.
I don't know.
I mean, I know that that's like another feature, but
I feel like you need motherfuckers that got your back.
Yeah. Well,
this is that game where they don't. Like, you're like, remember me? You didn't promote me. Hey, bitch.
That's why you got to play Shadow War? No. But this is the origin of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Of the whole group.
Oh, really?
So I don't think they would, even if they added that in, that'd be a little weird, I guess. Or if they did add it in, it makes sense because you're building up the order.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen much of it. All I know is that as long as they don't repeat Syndicate's combat, I'll be fine.
Oh god, I hated that one.
Syndicate, it was just way too cartoony. Like the dude, it was so fast paced. The dude was just like throwing his fist so fast, and usually
it's like out of a comic book.
And usually Assassin's Creed is like
realistic,
or very slow paced and intricate and like planning out your kill.
I have a friend that wants me to play Overwatch. Have y'all played that at all?
Yeah,
is it good?
I like it.
It looks cartoony to me.
Well, that's the point of it. Yeah, that's the style of it.
Yeah, like and the person that I'm talking about, which I had mentioned before, is usually not very cartoony. Yeah, he's very, very picky. And
Brian wants to play this.
Yeah, he wants me to play it.
Well, it's very huge in esports right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like teams from all over the world have gone together to play for big money. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's worth getting into if you want.
Yeah, he wants me to play, and he's like, "It's fun." I'm like, "Dude, it's a cartoon." I don't know.
Well, I mean, me and Chase used to play Little Big Planet, so.
But you were kids. He's a grown man.
We were too old for a game like that.
No, I don't think so. Little Big Planet wasn't marketed for like kids.
Really?
No.
It seemed like that kind of game.
No. No, it wasn't.
Well, I guess I'm
You're wrong.
corrected.
Well, no, I see what you mean. It did look like that, but it
Yeah.
wasn't really specifically for, like, here, put your kid in front of the TV. Not like Call of Duty. Wait, no.
Not like Call of Duty's for little
But anyway,
kids.
World War II, am I right?
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that, actually.
Yeah,
I'm
like-
probably going to get that.
Like I already pre-ordered it. The best Call of Duty that I can think of that I know of is World at War. That was my favorite.
Which I've been wondering if they're connected somehow.
Could
Like,
be.
a little bit.
Yeah. World at War was awesome. After that, Call of Duty franchise got really lame. They were like, "Oh, we're fighting aliens now," or "Oh, we're fighting.
We're going into space.
We have jetpacks now." And
Advanced warfare? More like infinite warfare.
it was
What?
just bad. Like what? Like because like when they started,
How
like
can we
with
go
Modern
quicker?
Warfare. When they started with
exactly.
Modern Warfare, they had like weapons that were actually like being used. But then it's like
Because it was modern warfare.
yeah, like now it's like
Now they were like
it got so
lasers
bad
and-
they're like rail guns and stuff.
And they were jumping everywhere. And
yeah,
stuff.
I said, you know what, I'm over it.
Yeah.
But going back to like their roots is I think will be really good.
I haven't played a Call of Duty game in forever.
Yeah.
So when I first jumped in, I was used to Battlefield 1 with the 64 players in a lobby, and then
Yeah.
it came down to 12. I was
Yeah.
like,
That's a little bit different.
now people are going to start looking at me if I don't perform well. So.
Well, I don't know if it's this way now, but whenever like World at War, like Call of Duty, you could like shoot somebody with a pistol from across the map. I don't know if it's still like that.
I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't think so.
It could because like
That was my shit.
yeah,
I
I
pissed
was
so
like
many people off.
I can't
The
believe. What?
pistol.
Really?
Yeah.
So you could shoot people from across the map.
Oh, yeah.
You get it
With a
like,
pistol.
yeah.
If you got him in the head, then it was like
It was
hardcore
over.
mode.
I mean, if any bullet to the head would probably
Oh.
knock you out, no matter who you are. But
no matter
Well,
what.
Call of Duty's not like that.
you're right. But the point is like with Battlefield, like you have to like raise your gun up right, and you have to like with Call of Duty, like you could aim like down the sights at someone's head. You wouldn't have to worry about
it
bullet
would,
drop
yeah.
or wind or nothing.
Oh man, the I sniped a little bit. Okay, so they have this game mode. I don't know. Oh, you didn't play it, but I don't know if you've seen it. It's called War, I think, and it has a set number of objectives that you have to like defend against. So the opposing team will
On
come.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, Call of Duty. So the opposing team will come, and you've got to defend like this building,
Mm-hmm.
and then if they secure that, you have to fall back, and then they have to build a bridge so a tank can come through.
That's like on Battlefield 1 where like they
It's like Operation,
yeah.
I think. And so I took a crack at sniping for the first time in a first-person shooter, and that was pretty satisfying, getting all the people down. But they only had one map of War, but it was fun from what I saw. So I'm probably going to get it. I don't know what platform, though.
Yeah.
Probably
But how many
PlayStation.
what do you have?
I have PC
Xbox?
and PlayStation.
Okay.
But I'm like a baby when it comes to controllers and first-person shooters.
You don't do it very well?
I'm horrible.
Another thing I'm hoping for the new Call of Duty is like once they started getting into like Modern Warfare 2 and from then on they kind of took away the sniping aspect. Like you couldn't go and climb up somewhere and shoot motherfuckers.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's what they're advertising in World War II, and they're like boots on the ground.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
no
gonna
one's
be
there's
probably
no
dope.
verticality, basically,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, another thing that I didn't like I liked about World at War, and back when that time in the franchise, is that like everybody, like when you play multiplayer, like split screen, everybody had the same capabilities. Like it was more skill based because, like say if you had the M1 Garand, sorry,
Yeah.
and you had like everyone had the same attachments, everyone had the same everything. Everyone could only get dogs and airstrikes, and that was it. So it was skill based. Rather after that, like I think it was Modern Warfare 2. You could build your like what your capabilities were the more you played. So if you went to someone's house that you've never been to before and they've been playing forever, they could have some awesome modifications. But you start a profile and you got nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not fair. So, like, if everyone has the same classes to choose from and the same perks to have. It's more skill based, and you can figure out who's better player because it's equal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sure they won't like just go back to that.
Yeah,
But maybe they will tone it down a little.
yeah,
bit.
because it was like, okay, like if you get this many things, you can make it to where you have a nuke, and it's like, please.
That was
Okay.
dope though. I like that.
I mean, it's cool because you like that means you've had to have some like really badass kill streaks.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on, if you have like sentry gun or if you have a Hellfire missile, and this other person can only get UAVs because they never played before, it's bullshit. So, I mean, it's just
I can see you on my radar.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's like, oh yeah, can you see this missile come at your ass?
Oh man, and the gun sound effects sound beautiful.
Do they
All of them, all the sound effects in the game sound
like
really
the ting like of
Oh
the?
man, when the M1, when you reload the M1, it sounds.
I
It's
have
like
one of
a
those for real.
ka-ching.
Yeah.
It's a ka-ching.
So
I'm about to load these deaths up.
yeah, yeah. In World War II, I don't know. I don't know about the game, but in World War II, they figured out. So like German soldiers would hear that and know people were out of ammo. So what they figured out was the American soldiers figured that out. So an empty clip that you can throw it on the ground and it makes that sound. So they'd be ready.
Yeah, yeah.
And whenever they'd stick their head up because they thought it was
just shoot them.
yeah, they'd take them out.
That's
so,
awesome.
Well,
American ingenuity, folks.
hell yeah. Well, the M1 Grand won that war because it was the first semi-automatic rifle. It wasn't bolt action, and it held 8 rounds. So,
Yeah.
Wow, 8 clips.
8 clips all the way.
Jesus.
Whoops. So,
God, that's awesome.
but yeah, it held 8 rounds, and it was pop, 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 rather than pop, pop,
Yeah.
pop. You know. So
And now we're gonna actually get Nazi zombies.
again, yeah.
Yeah, again.
Yeah, I think they're going way too far.
But
They're always going far now.
With Nazi zombies.
That first level of Nazi zombies, that I'm talking about, like the first thing, like it was beautiful, man.
Noter or something. Or
It was
like
new, it was simple, and nobody could even get past like level 10.
that. I did.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think the farthest I got was like level 13. And I
We
was
got
like,
to level like 50 one time.
Jesus Christ.
People go to 100 and just keep on repeating that level.
Really?
Why?
Mm-hmm. I guess to see how many times they can repeat
That seems a little too much. I'd be done at 50 or 30.
Which there's a few like tricks, like invisible walls and shit.
Yeah. Well, that's that's the thing too. Like before, it was like the perks that you got were not so outlandish. I mean, it was like. So I like it simple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or it's not like you have like. I don't know.
When did the series start losing you?
What was the one after Modern? No, so Black Ops was good.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, I was like, Modern
done.
Warfare 2, 3. I was like, fuck this bullshit. It's not even fun anymore because it was like the same thing over and over again, and and then it was just like it was the same thing, and then it progressively got worse. Like, just, like the storylines were good, and like you said, like. Jetpacks and stuff. Yeah. Like, you gotta be shitting me. It's not even fun anymore.
I saw a movie called The Samaritan
Never heard of it.
with Samuel L. Jackson.
Never heard of it. Yeah.
It's pretty fucking crazy.
Okay.
It's alright. It's an older movie, so this isn't a spoiler, Paul.
Well, this is a spoiler. What Caleb is referring to is that we were having the conversation of like.
Oh God.
Of like spoiling, like how long can you go? Like how long if you say something about a movie or a television show, if it's 8 years ago, is it a spoiler? Or like 2 months ago, or even if it's still in the theater and he's seen it, or if someone's seen it, should you say spoiler alert? Like how long?
I kind of fucked up on that last video.
How much time has to pass before you aren't spoiling anything anymore?
Well,
They understand.
actually, I do have something. I do have something to say about that because I was watching a review on Shadow of War and I got spoiled on some big stuff.
Really?
Like, it was a character that had died in the previous one, and they just showed it off while they were talking over it.
Wow.
Just like,
So we
Why?
So we were talking about like
So yeah.
we were talking about like a show.
So spoilers are not cool.
Yeah, well, we were talking about a show, and like there's a show like with a spinoff that's coming out, and it's like it's set after the last show ended, and but like saying like the last like what happened in the last episode of the last show. So even in the description of the new show, they say what happened in the last episode. So, like, I don't think that would be a spoiler if that's what the premise of the new show is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
What show are you talking about, Paul?
Lie to Me.
No.
That's I'm talking about Sons of Anarchy.
Wow, lied. Oh.
That's funny because I lied to you.
Get it?
But The Samaritan is with Samuel L. Jackson, and he's a con man, and he's been in jail for 25 years, and he gets out.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my god, so he goes to jail for killing his partner because he had no other choice. Because these mobsters that found him out said, "Hey, either you kill your partner or we kill you both." So
that partner's fucking dead no matter what.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
shit.
he kills his partner, and they get him to go to jail for it, and he goes for 25 years and comes back and then runs into his old partner's son, who's basically like a fucking jerk.
He grew up without a dad.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That was kind of in the movie too. So this dude is his partner's son is trying to get him to sleep with this girl for some reason, and then they find each other some weird way, and it's not pressured like that dude's been trying to get it to be, and then they end up sleeping together and living together.
Get in there.
No.
Okay. Sorry.
This dude turns out to be his daughter.
Get on. You got in there.
Yeah.
No.
And then the son is using that as leverage for him to do the next con. And when I saw that, dude, I was like, oh, fuck. That is some bad news.
Bad news, yeah.
To get.
Some bad news.
And I'm not going to spoil the ending, but I appreciated the movie, but I didn't like the way it ended.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people did.
Really? What?
24% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
Rotten Tomatoes, I don't know if you know this or not, but it's
don't.
like owned by a corporation.
Oh, so they're like...
Yeah, so they're not
corrupt
necessarily...
So what about
like,
IMDb?
That's more like people.
Okay, well, they got a 5.6.
Yeah.
So, I mean
average. Half.
Like Rotten Tomatoes, like only have certain people that do reviews, so you kind of have to... And they're like, they work for a company. That,
oh, I thought
like
it was...
a studio or something. Like, it's kind of... It's not like user reviews. IMDb is more user reviews.
Wow, Paul, just completely ruined my day.
He shattered his
No,
way of living.
I'm just telling
No,
you
it
that.
does have audience reviews
Well, it has audience, like...
for this American. Well, but it's not like what...
But I'm saying they're owned by a corporation, like, that's, like, Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, but anyway, it's got pretty average scores, so...
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
It's a pretty mediocre movie, but the fact that Samuel L. Jackson fucked his daughter was pretty
That's not cool.
shocking.
Dude, there's, like... Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
Well, but was it for the shock factor alone, or was it?
It was related to the whole thing. I mean, like this con man that's been in jail for 25 years, like gets conned into doing something for him.
Have you heard of a show? It's an Amazon show called Sneaky Pete. That's a good show. I'm just gonna go watch it. It's a good show. It has what's that guy's name? I gotta look it up. Giovanni
Not
something.
bad. Who?
Is his name Pete?
He is.
Wow.
Nice job, Caleb.
Thank you.
You figured it out. No.
All right.
I gotta look it up real quick.
Giovanni Ribisi?
Yeah, I think that's his name.
Oh, he plays in My Name Is Earl.
Hold on. What's his... Yeah.
I found it already.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that's right. I watched My Name Is Earl.
Well, that's
Anyway, yeah, he's
anyway.
he's he gets out of jail, and he had stolen from a guy that's like a loan shark, which happens to be Bryan Cranston. And but what had happened, like he has a brother. The guy caught them trying to steal, and he like held his brother for ransom. And so he's got to get out and try to figure out how to pay these people, pay him off. And so he like takes the identity of his cellmate, and then goes and like lives with his family, and he's a con artist, so he's like always trying to con like people. So he like makes the family think that he is that guy because they hadn't seen that guy in 30 years. Yeah. So so he's like trying to figure out how to take money from him and stuff. It's pretty good. I'm trying to think who else is in it.
It's one sneaky Pete.
Yeah. So, but he's a con man trying to get his brother off, and it goes a whole bunch of different ways. But
that seems pretty interesting.
There's a lot of Justified actors in it.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, guys, I love Justified. That's my show.
I don't know.
Have you never seen Justified?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I love me some Boyd Crowder.
That sounds gay.
I don't care. I love me some Jax Teller too. What's up?
Very confused.
Yeah. So, do you know who Walton Goggins is? Anybody watch Vice Principals or?
I know who he is.
Here, I'll show you.
I can just look him up.
Okay.
Well, I think we should just let the cat out of the bag. What's the deal with Sons of Anarchy, Paul?
Well, he's in there too, actually.
As a transvestite.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, he's also in.
Topic.
Have you ever heard of The Shield?
The Shield. No.
That's a good show too. What's the deal with Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah, Paul.
Basically, it's Hamlet on motorcycles, and it's just a good story. It's just
Hamlet on wow. Okay.
It's based on Hamlet.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
You didn't?
You know the Lion King's based off that too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, like Clay is his stepfather, which would be the uncle.
Yeah.
And then like in the book, Hamlet is Claudius, is Clay, and then Gemma is Gertrude. And it's like it's the same thing. Like the kingdom in Hamlet would be
The club.
the club would be their kingdom, and his the ghost of Hamlet, which was his dad. He finds that in the beginning he finds the journal of his dad's, and that's the ghost of Hamlet.
Yeah.
So there's it's based on Hamlet, but
interesting.
But it also has to do with a lot of trying to break the cycle of who you are and not being able to do that, and the sins of the father will rain on his kids. And I just like the story because no matter what you try to do to be good or be different, you'll be what you are.
And it's got a great message for young girls out there.
Don't be porn stars.
Wow, that's really great.
Yeah.
Good advice. All right.
Another thing is if trying to understand who you are and following in the right person's footsteps, and it's just a good story. But yeah, they're coming out with they're coming out with the Mayans, which is their rivals. They're coming out with a series after that. So
the Mayans
MC. It's they start out as their rivals and then they become friends over the series, and so it'll be set after. That's what I was talking about, the last episode of that. So it's a post Jax Teller world. So then they start the Mayans, but they're going to. It's going to be the whole story is going to be 4 parts. So there's the Sons of Anarchy, which what we've already seen. Then there's going to be the Mayans, and then there's going to be eventually there's going to be Jax's sons and how they turned out. And then there's going to be the first 9, which is a prequel. It'll be a mini series of his dad and Clay and the founding of the club. So
Jeez,
that's a lot.
It's a long year.
Yeah, well, it's not a year.
Long
but
years.
I was thinking about this. Caleb and I were talking about it earlier. A lot of people are going from movies like big actors. Like Walton Goggins has worked with Tim Roth, and he's worked with like Quentin Tarantino and all these like big names. But they're going to television because a lot of TV is like the writing has gotten a lot stronger, and they're becoming more movies and serialized TV. So it's a lot of actors and a lot of like talent is focusing more on television and then movies because studios are terrible with movies because they will make a good movie, something that probably should be rated R and like really quality, and the studio will go in and say, oh well, we need to market this towards like younger people so they can get a wider variety and get more people to come so they can make money. So like you have like King Arthur. They made like a 4-hour movie.
Damn it.
They made a 4-hour movie, and then they tried to cut it and to make it like an hour and a half, and it was fucking terrible. It really was terrible.
I loved it.
It was awful, and it wasn't even the acting, or it wasn't even like, the directing or anything like that, or the story. It was the editing was so bad. There was no transition. It was like 1 minute he'd be like at his house, and the next minute he'd be in a battle, and it was like, what the heck is going on? So, yeah, so a lot of people are, a lot of stars are going towards television, just because it's becoming stronger and it's becoming just better quality stuff.
Seems like a stable industry to try and get into.
Yeah, and it's a steady job.
Yeah.
For instance, like I said, big actors like Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson did the first season of True Detective. Yeah. So, and that's some of the best television I've ever seen. Like Walton Goggins, Tim Roth, they're all going to television as opposed to like movies. And and people aren't going to movies like they used to. They'll download them and they'll but they're not making the money they used to. And then studios get involved and make things suck. Like Suicide Squad had a lot of potential, but the Joker got cut out of the whole movie. And I went and saw it. Well, I can't really say I saw it. And like I was sitting there and I was like, oh, Batman's in this movie, cool. And then I was like, there's a witch in this? I'm going to sleep. Fell asleep in the movie theater. Didn't care anymore. So you have people moving towards TV. Like Walton Goggins he was in SOA briefly. He was in a show called The Shield, which is great. And then he was also in Justified, which Boyd Crowder, that is the character that he played, probably one of the best villains I've ever seen in my life. In anything. I'd put him up there against the Joker. Just because it's like intelligent.
I haven't seen enough of the series to say.
It's fantastic. But yeah. So.
Heath Ledger's Joker is phenomenal.
But, talking about like television and sequels and, I guess there'd be spin-off shows. But like, say like the SOA universe or whatever, even the SHIELD universe, because they're kind of in the same universe. Because a lot of like the gangs are the same, and a lot of like, a lot of the actors are the same and stuff. So, well, also because Kurt Sutter was like a head writer on the SHIELD, and he was the creator of Sons, and he was also like a head producer on the SHIELD. So that's the connection. But anyway, you have like these spin-off shows that are technically like sequels, and they're not really reboots. So, but if you think about it, like 2 movies would be the equivalent of like 14 years of television. Yeah. So, but a lot of people are wanting more television shows, like The Wire. Have you heard of The Wire?
I think so. Yeah.
It's about Baltimore, and it all like, I mean, that's one of the best shows out there. But like, they're wanting more of The Wire and stuff like that, just because it tells a story. But if they did do a sequel, like it'd be like 14 years as opposed to 2 movies, like 2.5-hour movies. So it's just like the formats, but
plus there's just a lot more to watch and keep yourself entertained.
Yeah, and it's weekly, and but serialized TV has gotten to be in much higher demand than movies.
I can see that. Because there's a lot of shows.
You don't have to leave your home.
No, that's true. You can just go on Netflix, boom, or Hulu, or HBO, whatever you want.
And it's a lot like I switched from having cable to having just those apps.
Yeah, really.
It's cheaper, and you get to watch what you want to watch.
Yeah.
And I'm not paying for ESPN. Did you know that it's like $4 a month? I think it's like $3 to $4 a month per subscription. No matter what cable you have, goes to ESPN. Every cable subscription has ESPN, and I think it's $4. I think it went up from last I heard, but say $4 goes to ESPN, and so you have it's like $6 billion a year for Disney, just on ESPN.
Jesus
and that's not including
Christ.
That's not including their stores, their theme parks, their movies.
Oh yeah,
just sports. ESPN gains them $6 billion per year. And I could have cable, I have cable, and not even watch ESPN ever.
Exactly.
So,
I haven't watched regular TV in years.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I haven't.
So, and most people are turning off cutting off cable, just because it's not worth their time.
It's not, no.
So, but yeah,
because there's better sources. Because you can get stuff on demand now. Watch it when you want
The
to
only
watch
thing
it.
I ever see on TV now is the news.
Yeah, and that's really all it's good for. Honestly, and that could get quickly replaced too.
Yeah, well, because people choose the facts they want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're a conservative, you most likely listen to Fox. Or if you're a liberal, I don't know what you just did to me, but okay. Or at me, rather. You didn't touch me. So, let's get that straight, guys. People choose the facts they want to hear. Another good show, by the way, have you ever heard of The Newsroom? Jeff Daniels?
I think so.
That's a great show.
I've heard it going around.
So, the way that it's set in 2010, it starts in 2010. It came out in 2011, but they do news stories how they should have been covered.
Okay.
So, they start off, and it's set in 2010, and they start with the oil spill of 2010. And so, you see them, so at the time, it was a year after the actual oil spill. And so, you see how it should have been covered, because you know how it was covered, just because you experienced it.
Mm-hmm.
But you see them talk about, instead of content, influencing the news, it's they go after ratings instead of actually telling you the news.
Yeah.
It's ratings driving content instead of content driving ratings.
That's got
They go for the entertainment, and so they made it to where they went for the actual facts and stuff, and they almost got shut down, just because it wasn't what people wanted to hear, and so they started doing this different format of this show, and then something happened, Casey Anthony or something crazy, and everybody else they said that their ratings went to other channels because they wanted to be entertained rather than get the actual facts. Yeah. So it's a different take on the media, but then you realize after you watch that, you realize that when you're watching Fox News or Sean Hannity or something like that, those are opinion shows. Those aren't journalism.
No.
Or Rachel Maddow. They're giving their opinion, but they're not necessarily giving you facts. Mm-hmm. Only facts. So
it's what is it? What is that term? Yellow journalism?
Yeah, it's
that's just
it's just fluff. It's,
whatever gets the most clicks.
That's right. It'd be the equivalent of clickbait.
Yeah.
So when you see an opinion show, you're like that's bullshit, because they're not telling me anything. They're just telling me that what they think I want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty interesting.
I'll probably watch that.
That's a good show. And
it seems interesting.
I'll tell you this, that show you got to have some brain power to watch that show because it's so quick, and they'll have like 3 different conversations going at once. So like say like, for instance, you and I might have a conversation. Caleb comes up and says something to me, and then you and I are talking, but at the same time we're both like talking to each other, and I'm talking to you, and you're talking to him at the same. Like you have to like understand. Okay. You gotta have some brain power to watch it. Yeah. Just because.
You gotta sit down and be ready to learn.
Yeah, and you got ready to learn, but you also gotta like pay attention to like 3 different things that are going on. So, yeah. I mean, they don't make it like too difficult, but the writing's really good in that show. But it's something you really gotta pay attention to.
So I noticed when I saw it when they were like the way they shot it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like The Office.
Yeah, it is. Because he's a big fan of The Office, Aaron Sorkin. Oh. But he's one of the best television writers ever. So, and another thing is like it's not too like it has some liberal leanings in the show, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You know, but it's not so like it doesn't have so much of an agenda either way to where you're like I can't handle this anymore. Yeah. So, because some HBO shows and some Showtime shows have that, where it's like so right or so left, or it's just like. Okay, already enough. So, but what's nice about it is though, like, you do see, because you know how things are covered in the United States, and then you see how it should be covered, and you're like, yeah, you know, and then you realize that you know in this country we have such a low expectation of journalism. Yeah. You know, so it's kind of nice to see like what you should see, you know, and how. Like, and it's current, like, it's real events. Mm-hmm. So, it's pretty cool. So, anyway, the Newsroom with Jeff Daniels is really good. So, it's on HBO.
Definitely. Oh, never mind.
Well, it's on Amazon, too.
Oh, well, I can do that. Yeah. So, I'm not willing to do HBO.
So, The Wire's on HBO, but it's also on Amazon as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, The Wire's great, man.
Oh, yeah. I know.
I like what I've seen.
Yeah.
I've heard. It's just, well, how long are the episodes?
45 minutes to an hour.
It's like, I just don't have the time to watch shows that are...
I try to show them shows like that, and if it's not like...
Most HBO shows are...
I don't lose interest, it's just, I don't...
You don't have the time. You don't feel like you have the time for it. Yeah.
Mom, the Newsroom started, and we finished it, and Mom was like, you want to watch it again? It's that good. Mm-hmm. So, and that's the way I felt with The Wire, too. I'm like, it's that good. So, do you watch Game of Thrones at all?
No, but I've read some of the books.
The guy who plays Littlefinger is on The Wire.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a guy named Littlefinger?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of HBO shows, they'll use the same actors. Mm-hmm. Another great show is Boardwalk Empire. It's about this guy. It's about like all the like prohibition gangsters. The guy who it's really based on, his name's Nucky Johnson, but in the show is Nucky Thompson. Mm-hmm. But it has like Al Capone as an underling, and it has like all these like people that you know that weren't anybody until like the very end, and like the people who you think won't make it end up being like the people who bring in like the Italian mob and stuff, because before it was like based on their city. It wasn't like you know, like the Italian mob and everybody had the same rules. It was like Atlantic City, and you had like the mob boss of Atlantic City, which is Nucky Thompson, and then you had like the mob boss of like Brooklyn, Chicago, and then when they started falling off and everything started happening, the mob gave them a chance for the mob to really come in and take control. You know who Steve Buscemi is?
Yeah.
Buscemi? That's who is the main star of the show. Okay. Yeah, he's great. Who else is in it? Oh, I'm trying to
think. What's this on? Is this on HBO?
It's on HBO, but it's also on Amazon. I don't know why you don't like HBO.
No, I just don't. I have too many subscriptions already. I don't want to keep adding on all these sites.
Yeah, so that's a great show. Steve Buscemi's great. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Justified is also on Amazon. That's my show, man.
Gotta represent.
So
We're telling you all the places you can get to these shows.
yeah, The Shield is only on Hulu, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever do Hulu.
It's
So
also on iTunes.
yeah,
But yeah,
Fuller House is on
buy
Netflix.
That's true.
that. I can't stand that show.
I kind of like it. I don't know why. It's stupid. It's stupid, but I like it.
No.
Vice Principals is on HBO, but it is wicked, like evil. My boy Walton Goggins is freaking nuts in that show, man. They spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear about this,
What?
turn it off.
Uh-oh.
But
Wait.
it's like in the third. Like you're like, whoa, he's going rogue. So
You're going on
it's like the third episode, man. Like they don't like this like lady, and like they break into her house to get intel on her, and then they like get so carried away they burn that motherfucker down. I was like, oh my god.
That was a pretty
Same
funny. You see this crazy look in that
Yeah.
guy's eyes, like, oh, we're going all the way
Yeah,
with this.
and then he was like, I can't believe it. He's like, I saw it in your eyes. You wanted to.
Is it sort of like Arrested Development?
I
In
don't.
that
I
sense?
couldn't get into that show, man.
No, it's more like
Because I noticed with Arrested Development, it was like a snowball. Each episode, it seemed like. Everything just kept getting worse
adding
and
up.
worse.
Yeah.
All I know about that show is the kid slept with his cousin. Or not slept with, kissed the cousin. Then he like started liking her, and then he's like, he's like, it's always money in the banana, banana.
Mm-hmm.
What is it called? The banana stand.
Yeah.
Been in the banana stand, and they burn it down.
Yeah.
Always got the banana stand.
There was some parts in that show that I liked, but it was kind of a little too dry for me.
Yeah, it's like okay, it's like so slow.
Well, I enjoyed it. But when Netflix picked it back up, it lost me.
Really,
It just was horrible, I think. The same thing kind of happened with Trailer Park Boys.
I never got into that either.
It kind of lost its way
Yeah.
after like season 7. But whatever.
Whatever. Well,
It's a good show.
I
like it.
have another question. How long do in your opinion, how long do shows last that are good? Like, how many seasons on average can a show go for? Then it's like,
I mean, it really
Before-
depends on how they end it, I guess.
I don't-
It depends on the writer and the director, I feel like. Because with Trailer Park Boys, it ended on like season 7, and it could have ended on season 6. But they kept going with it on season 7, and it felt like, okay, this is it.
I feel like 7.
I mean, I know it could get old after that long, but it felt fine.
Most shows that I know of, 7 seasons is too long. Like, that's when it starts getting really stale.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, SOA was bad. Like, season 7 was terrible. Up to season 6 was phenomenal. But it was time. Justified season 6, they ended at season 6. Perfect time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it kind of depends on the formula of the show. Because if there's a formula that works and it can be repeated and you still be entertained, then that's okay. But yeah, you're right. Around 7 is usually when they start getting stale.
But then 6 is when it's like really good at its prime, and then after that, it kind of probably falls
I've
off.
seen shows that kind of reinvent themselves and keep going, and it was still good.
Yeah, like I'm thinking like Shameless. That's about time for that one to go.
I feel like there's a lot they'd have to wrap it up good,
Yeah.
but there's still
Season
some
7
stuff
was
that could
awful.
be like answered and like
Yeah.
they could go a better route with it.
I mean, a lot of these shows like make it so, like their agenda gets put into it so much, it's like I don't care, like whether it be transgender stuff or gays stuff. Like I don't have any problem with anybody. I don't, that's not my thing. But it's like when you're like purposely put it in there to try to like, I guess normalize it or make a point out of it.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to watch that. Like I want to watch television to get away from all the political
Reality.
junk that's on television. And so when they start putting it in there, just like to like hammer you with it, I don't like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'd lose interest too.
Well, I think it's about that time.
I'm not done yet.
Wait, yeah. Paul has to keep going for another 30 minutes.
Yeah. So
Carry on, Paul.
okay, so
What? No, actually.
What do you got?
Were you actually gonna say?
we're talking about like shows going so long or whatever. I think usually about like 6 seasons is when they hit their prime. Because like SOA was great in season 6. That's when it was like, oh shit, and then like especially the last episode of season 6 was like, oh shit, I hope she makes it. You know?
What?
Yeah.
Is that a spoiler?
She makes it.
Yeah. So I didn't like.
Great.
You spoiled that because I just remember.
Now we're gonna have to cut this part out.
Oh shit. Anyway, so, but yeah, so
Yeah.
I think that's about it. You know,
Six
I had
seasons.
something, and then y'all got me off my groove, and now you're all like,
That's all right. We've ran an hour now.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, we've never run this long.
We just need to keep going up and up every week.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually we'll get to 4 hours.
Or 24 hours.
24
Let's go
hours?
a whole day.
Yo, we'll talk about that later.
we'll talk. We'll have another meeting.
You're with my production manager.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm right here, Chase.
Yeah, you're funny. You're funny, buddy. Anyway, that'll be it for this week. Tune in next week when
We have more
find
shit
out next week.
we have more shit to talk
Yeah,
about.
when we actually think about next week. I mean they.
What?
Not
No,
me.
Paul, you'll be back next week. Let's not kid ourselves.
I know.
Get ready for our next guest. Starts with a P.
Oh my god, it might be me.
We'll tell you next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Find out next week who that is.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. That's going to be the end.
The end of that. Am I right?
Yep.
Oh, Updata!